In many ways, the front line of the front line, the bravest of the brave. In Afghanistan, of course, the big threat has been IEDs. These are improvised explosive devices, the roadside bombs that have caused so much carnage. There were 1,400 reports of IEDs while they were out on their 6-month tour, and most of them were dealt with by men and women from Carver Barracks. Well, 75 men and women left here 6 months ago. Today, they all came safely home. Less than an hour to wait. For these families, it's been a very long 6 months. Louise Fuse waiting for husband Craig with 14-week-old Farah. Tell me about the baby.
Well, he's met her, but she was in hospital for 4 weeks because she was poorly. So he was here for 4 weeks and then he went back to Afghanistan, so he doesn't really know her yet.
Outside, the welcome home party is gathering, excitement building. How difficult has it been for you?
Very difficult because it's just the two of us and I've been going to work. I work full time, so plus the worrying, actually, it's more the worry really.
And then the buses came into sight. The troops landed at Stansted after 36 hours, so-called decompression in Cyprus. A few hours there to unwind and prepare for this very special moment. How proud do you feel of what's being done out there?
Very, very proud. Our soldiers have worked so hard, and not just the ones from within the EOD group, but also the soldiers from right across the board. It's it has been a long summer, but they've certainly proved their worth.
How have the children coped?
They've been amazing. They've been absolutely amazing. Particularly this one with her broken arm, which we... How brave were you?
Brave.
Very brave. Braver than Daddy, we think.
While others have a happy reunion, Louise is left holding the baby. It turns out husband Craig is not on either bus. But it isn't long before they're back together. How's it feel to have him back now, finally?
Oh, brilliant, absolutely. The stress is over, the worry's over. Just looking forward to spending a bit of time with him and the baby. Because we haven't had that, so yeah, it'll be great.
A little bit of normality, Craig.
Yeah.
Hopefully, yeah.
Well, as normal as you can get with a baby.
There are a lot of happy scenes here today. The focus, of course, very much on Afghanistan. But a new exhibition at the Essex University today pays tribute to the servicemen and servicewomen from this region who've given their lives in the war in Iraq. It's called Queen and Country.
On first viewing, it looks like a very unassuming wooden box. But look closer and every drawer contains a memory. The artwork depicts 155 soldiers who were killed during the war in Iraq. Gemma Long from Essex lost her husband Paul in 2003.
It's lovely. Obviously you hear about it all the time, and Afghanistan, more or less every day someone's been killed. Just nice for them to know that they're being remembered for what they've done and died for their country.
Corporal Paul Long was one of 6 military policemen from Colchester who died after being set upon by a mob. They were training local officers at this police station near Basra. All the men are included in the project, along with many others from across the region who lost their lives.
It's a very poignant exhibition. I don't think anybody would say otherwise. I viewed it. A lot of soldiers from the garrison have or will come and see it, and I think they all feel exactly the same.
A campaign's now been launched to get Royal Mail to officially issue the artwork as real stamps.
It's a remarkable piece of work. It's very emotional, but it's also a very simple way of commemorating those who died for their Queen and country. So we feel that it's really important to campaign for this, for these stamps to be published.
The exhibition is open to the public until November the 14th. Louise Holmes, BBC Look East, Colchester.
Yes, and that's at the University of Essex Art Gallery. Well, back here at Carver Barracks, a few days to kind of relax, very low-key, and then on Thursday, a kind of formal welcome home. A parade here, a bit of military razzmatazz, and the people who've come back will receive their campaign medals. And then, and only then, they can go on their very well-deserved month's leave.
Kim, thank you very much. Our sister programme Inside Out is back tonight with a report which could affect thousands of people in this region. It involves home insurance and how even the most minor conviction can go against you when you make a claim on your building insurance. David Whiteley is with me now. So if you've had a conviction, it affects your policy.
That's right, Stu. We found out that it's very important that you flag up at the very early stages that if you've had a caution or even a minor conviction, that you must tell your insurance company at the very start of when you take out the policy, otherwise it may void your policy. We met a woman called Michelle Barber whose home was burnt down by her estranged husband. Insurance company, Norwich Union, now Aviva, paid the rebuild costs, but she hadn't told them about a minor conviction she had. She'd been fined, so now she's been left with a bill for £250,000.
They asked me to send for an SA1, which is to disclose if you ever had any fines or convictions. And I sent for this from Disclosure Scotland, and when it came back, it showed I had a fine that relates to 2002, and I'd completely forgotten all about it. I got a letter saying they were voiding my policy from inception, and that I had to repay them £241,000.
That's an incredible amount of money. So, I mean, so hang on. So, what was this fine for?
It was for an overpayment of benefit back in 2002, and I got fined £100.
So it can be any policy, any conviction, can it? Driving?
No, not driving, but basically anything else. You must check with your insurance policy. You must check with your insurer. And it's not just you, it's anybody living in your house. It's your son, your daughter, even your lodger. It could affect your policy.
And what do Aviva say?
Well, they sent us a statement, Stuart. They say, as we consider that Ms Barber's non-disclosure involved a material fact that was deliberately withheld, we have voided the policy from its inception, and we're standing by our decision to recover money we have already paid out for a previous claim. She's taken this case to the Financial Ombudsman.
Inside Out is when?
7:30 tonight, BBC One.
Thank you very much.
See you then.
Now, they started as a group of disaffected football fans in Luton, but in the 6 months of their existence, the English Defence League have already seen some of their protests end in violence. So who exactly are they? This report is from Porrick O'Brien.
The front line of an English Defence League demo in Manchester on Saturday. It didn't look pretty, but it all passed off peacefully enough. This isn't the first time I've met the men of the English Defence League. That was about a month ago. I was invited along to Luton for a press conference like no other.
All very cloak and dagger. And we're meeting some of the Luton division. There's some of them there. Luton division of EDL up here.
This is Tommy Robinson, EDL's spokesperson. It's not his real name. The real Tommy Robinson is an infamous football hooligan associated with Luton Town Football Club.
We're doing it to stand up against Islamic extremists who have been unchallenged in our country for 10 to 15 years.
The point of this evening was to show us that they're not Nazis, so they decided to burn a swastika on camera, as you do. Fast forward to Manchester on Saturday, and here's Tommy having a moment with an officer of Greater Manchester Police. About a fortnight ago, I was invited along to a pub in East London. The leadership of EDL were meeting some potential sponsors.
They were here offering technical expertise to EDL. During the course of the conversation, I was told that somebody from the Ulster Defence Association had been in contact, interested in starting up a branch in Northern Ireland. Now, all this, of course, could have been just bluster, but it poses a serious question about EDL. Are they becoming a sort of lightning rod for people altogether more intelligent and altogether more sinister?
What we see in EDL at the moment is quite similar to some of the movements we saw in the 1970s and also some of the movements that we see in Europe today, which are really torn between different factions. We really, at the moment, don't know which way it's going to go.
Last word to Tommy, back in the warehouse.
Somebody described EDL as a drinking club with a website.
Exactly. Whether that's all they turn out to be, time will tell.
And you can see a longer report on the EDL on Newsnight tonight at